perfectly ready.
Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the District Board of Directors to be held at 1054 Road, Port Isabel, Texas on May 28, 2025 at the hour 5:30 p.m. for the consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice is posted at the office of the district on May 22nd, 2025 at 10 a.m. in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, not less than 72 hours prior to the time of said meeting. We'll call everybody to order. We have three of us here, myself and Starkey, Mr. Donahue. The other board members were absent with notification. We'll stand for the pledge and invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, please bless this day, and thank you for just being able to have this Memorial Day weekend, and appreciate our armed services and all that they do. And please help us to continue to serve the water district and best name and say these things in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen. Thank you. Any public comments today?
Do have one. The Lawrence Gonzalez, he's in the wastewater treatment plant, and he acquired his A license, which is a big step high, the highest one.
We have an A.
A
Nice.
license, yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Let him know.
Is that a lot?
Thank you.
Is that like a lot of CE he has to do, like a lot of continuing education and testing?
There's always continuing education that the district pays for all the employees, always. Continue to get educated.
Cool.
Wastewater and water side.
What does the district do for him? Like they have a big party? He buys lunch?
Well, sometimes they do, but not this time. They get an increase on their license, like, I think it's $75,
Okay,
or something from 50 to 75.
good. Well, congrats to him. Item 4, consider and discuss for possible approval the minutes from the regular meeting on May 14th, 2025.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Starkey, second by Mr. Donahue. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. General Manager report, item 5.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. The percent is 20.0 this morning. Rained a lot. I'm sorry, 22.0. It rained a lot, but it didn't fall in our watershed. Maybe by tomorrow, the next day, it'll go up a little bit, because I believe there was rain in Zapata County. So that kind of fills up a little bit on the Falcon Lake. So we're still at stage 3. It's not moving from the last 2-3 weeks. It's been 20, 22, 25, 20.5, and now last week 21.9, now 22.0. So
Slightly going up, still below where we want.
right.
Significantly higher than this time of year last year, though. Yeah, so that's at least a little bit of good news. Thank you. We'll continue to hope that it rains.
Yes, sir.
Consider, item 6, consider and discuss the possible approval of board travel to attend Texas DSAL 2025 annual conference scheduled for September 24th, 2025 to September 26th, 2025 in Bee Cave, Texas.
Right, this one's for Scott Friedman. He wants to attend that one since DSAL is very important. So he's interested in that one, and we need the board's approval for the board members to attend. Anybody else wants to attend, let me know. But, yes, we need his approval from the board.
I make a motion to approve board member attendance in the said convention.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 7, consider and discuss the possible approval of updated 2025 hurricane preparedness operation plan. Dropping that off. It was a long read. Took me a couple hours.
yes,
Really
yes.
Appreciate all the work you did on it.
It's usually a little changes every year. City employees change positions, and then all those phone numbers, and then employees here tend to move to one department and then to the other. So we upgrade a little bit on everything.
Good. We ready to approve?
Yes, sir. Ready.
Motion made by Mr. Donahue,
Second.
second by Mr. Starkey. All in favor? Aye.
I have
Director
a
of
question
Operations report.
as it relates to that. I
I'm
love
sorry.
your speed and tempo. So years ago, when we had our last state of emergency, there were cell phones that were issued, and it's made a few moves with me already. It still sits in my closet. I assume everybody still has that. I mean, is that going to be activated if in the event we need it? Because remember the phones went out here and
It's supposed to
will that thing
still-
magically turn on? It's still in a box for me. I just want to report still have it. Haven't used it. Haven't given it to a child, although I considered it. No, I didn't, for the record. But I mean, that's still something that's in the action plan of hurricanes or.
They should be.
Okay.
Actually, I think everybody still has their phone.
Right.
So, oh, here he is. right here.
They are active.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, I just use mine for gaming. That's it.
But as long as you guys answer, that's,
I've never turned it on, but in the event that we're in an emergency, I will. All right, that's all. Thank you.
They work.
thank you.
Great. Operations report?
Yes,
presentation?
yes,
Let's
Mr.
do
Vice
it.
Chairman and members, it's just a short presentation of the water plant one as it was, and it is, and will be.
Okay. Who put the presentation together? Somebody did this, and I would like to thank them for their efforts. Did you do it, Noe?
We did, it was a combined effort between.
But Noe's presenting,
approved
so I
by
like
Mr.
it
Gabon.
already.
Mr. Gomez, I don't believe for 1 second you put the power.
Okay, no, he did.
But it was your vision that I'm looking at. I get that. It was your leadership.
So it's just to provide a visual of what's going on at water plant number 1. Here in this first picture, as you can see, this is the existing water treatment plant. See the 2 clarifiers, the lab, the old building on the top right there. On the bottom, you'll see the existing raw water pump station and the new platform where the new raw water pump station will be. And just to point out, at the very top of that picture, right under where it says water plant, are the 2 acres that we intend to acquire for the seawater desalination plant. This is reservoir number 1. It's a 10 million gallon reservoir. The reason it's here is because we did maintenance. The operators did some maintenance. They removed 2 feet of sludge throughout the whole reservoir. And we've transferred it over to water plant number 2 monofill.
Question on that. How often do we remove dirt, sludge, and stuff?
From that particular reservoir, it had not been done, best to my knowledge, but it only had about 1.5 to 2 feet.
So it wasn't
at
too- it
most.
wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
Okay, great. We don't have any other dirt removal or movement plans in any near future?
We do, water plant number 2, we'd like to remove the sludge there. About half of the reservoir has an amount that, makes us interested in trying to dredge, but it will run a few $1 million to get it done.
Oh, boy.
We do have a dredge machine. It's too small to hit that reservoir. That reservoir is, I think it's about 75 million gallon reservoir.
Okay.
And we do typically dredge the lagoon at water plant number 2, and that's ongoing throughout the whole year. The operators take care of that.
Okay, good to know.
And this is the original construction site where we're building the current microfiltration, ground storage, and EST, just to give you a view of what it was before. And as you can see, the microfiltration building is there on the left. The ground storage tank is on the right. Just so you know, that is complete. The ground storage tank is done and ready for disinfection and to fill pretty soon. It's another view of the site. That one also includes on the top right-hand corner the EST, and they've already poured the cement for the dome to begin the construction of the bowl of the tank, and that is a 600,000 gallon tank. It's just another view here. This one is to include the property on the left-hand side there. That's all that is construction equipment, but it will be removed. That's going to be the site for the reverse osmosis, whatever is included in the seawater desalination plants, just to give you a view of what property we have left there.
Have we discussed a graphic to be put on that water tank yet?
Yes, it's going to have the LMWD, and it will have the portable tarpon logo.
That's where I was going with that. All right, perfect.
And then this is the inside of the ground storage tank. It's just to give you a view of what's inside. For the most part, I don't anticipate ever seeing the inside like this again, so it was interesting to walk in there and take a couple of pictures and figured we'd share that with you guys. And I think that wraps up the presentation. Questions?
Best presentation of the year.
But in all honesty, it is nice to see that. So thank you for putting it
Thank you,
together,
Noe.
because otherwise, it's all just, in my head. It's nice to actually see it. Thank you. So you'll wait till you're called to come to the podium. Item 9, District Engineers Report.
See, all right, so yeah, all we have here is pretty much a capital projects update. There's a Gantt chart in the board packet, which, it's kind of nice that we had that presentation. Just the very first item here on the Gantt chart is the lift station rehabilitation. I mean, we have Moreville at a crawl's pace, but they are addressing the punch list items. Our last item to really have the work done is to tie that diesel pump into the control panel. So there's an interlock between the submersible pumps and the diesel pump. And that's the last item of significance needed to close out that construction contract. We did have a meeting last week with to start negotiating liquidator damages, and we have a follow-up meeting tomorrow. So we're at the point of just trying to settle our liquidator damages and address the last punch list items to get that closed out. But that's where we're at with the lift station project. And then I guess jumping over to the...
How late were they on the LDs?
Oh, gosh. Technically, they're at the range of 750 days, and it's still accruing in final... They haven't reached final completion. So yeah, there's there's quite a bit of room to negotiate and figure out the...
What was our daily rate?
$500.
There's 700.
Yeah, it's like 730 days, somewhere in there. So it's pretty significant.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, and so the next item here is jumping over to our 2022 tax bond, the water system improvements, and it's also the drinking water SRF money we did in addition, the 50 million addition to the tax bonds. So the first item here, the water plant microfiltration construction, that's the presentation you just saw from Noe. With we're looking at having that completed December of 2025. That should be startup training, and it's in service by the end of the year. Again, the elevated storage tank, so that they finished the pedestal, they're about to do the still bowl, and that's scheduled for completion March 2026. And then the next item 5 here is the raw water transfer pump station, and that's the one at Water Plant 2 to get that higher volume of water over to Port Isabel. And we're at the point of working with AEP to get the overhead electrical moved to allow us to proceed with construction at the vertical, whether for the pump station. So that's there's actually a revised design. That's an action item on that one, just because they changed the design a little bit. Because originally they had proposed a switchgear that would be in the future that wasn't in their first invoice, but they were able to add a pole to keep our 2 utility services on site isolated from each other. And so there's a higher cost to get that done today, but that's an action item here for a request that we presented in April. We have a revision here for that revised design in that project. But we should be okay there. Guess the next one, high service pump station at Water Plant 2. This, we're still waiting on the approval letter from Texas Water Development Board for plans and specifications, which, who knows what's going on with the backlog at the state level, but they're just really slow at getting these approval letters out so we can put this out for bid. So, I mean, that's really the one thing stopping us from, getting that under contract. And the generator, we have an email saying we're good, but we haven't received that approval letter either. But regardless, we awarded the contract. We're in the process of getting the contract executed. And essentially by the time they submit their first invoice, say in July, we got to get all that paperwork approved at Water Development Board, so they'll release the payment for the invoice. Because those are done on monthly outlay escrow requests. So basically, on a monthly basis, the state will release the funds from the state revolving fund so we can pay our contractors. So that's really the point where, they got to get that paper signed and everything released. So that's where we're at on that contract. And then basically, we're looking at both the generator being done December 30th, 2026. And at this stage, the Water Plant 2 high service pump stations, being finished the first part of 2027. So at this rate, hopefully we'll be starting seawater construction before we finish our generator or high service pumps. Just that's how the schedule seems to be coming together right now, or it's gonna pretty much be continuous construction. as we roll into seawater. Jumping over to seawater, it's permitting. We're on track with doing our financial application, looking at closing on November 13th for the construction dollars. And, the pilot plant construction, we're coordinating with the navigation district, which we'll discuss more in closed session. But they did give us approval to proceed with the pilot plant board. That's what we're trying to energize this month. And we got a AEP to return to site to install a transformer as well. So that's just proceeding as best we can. With reclamation, they did give us the environmental clearance to proceed with the pilot. So what we're doing today does count towards the pre-award cost. But in terms of when they'll have the financial agreement in place, that's still to be determined. So that's part of where we're at right now with reclamation. But that pretty much concludes the engineer's report, unless there's other questions.
My main question is there anything that you can anticipate that we need to make sure we're doing right now so that we don't miss a deadline in 2 to 6 months?
Oh, it's that lease at the navigation district. That needs to happen by June 20th.
Okay, so you feel like, hey, we got to do this.
Yeah.
It's gotta happen by when?
Right, June 20th, we probably need to get that ironed out in the next month or so.
Well, that's less than.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
3
yeah.
weeks. So just make sure that if there's anything else, we're communicating on that stuff openly, You don't want to call, I'm glad Brian heard it now, but you might have wanted to know even before 1 month with the speed of lawyers, they have to meet at least 6 more times. So, you gotta give them that opportunity.
My question is pertaining to the LDs that we went over. So it's over 750 days and counting at 500, that's $375,000. Do we have that in retainage? Did we do a 10% retainage with that company?
Yeah, right now, we're holding $505,000.
Okay, good.
Because he hasn't invoiced the full amount, plus we're holding the 10% retainage on top of that. So we're still holding $505,000 in our first strings.
How much scope did they have
It was a
left?
$4 million contract. Oh, the scope, they're over, in terms of actual completion, they're 95%, 99% complete,
Great.
and they just haven't invoiced.
So we're in a good position.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And the main problem is that they were late. They got it done, but they were slow in doing it.
Yeah, they were very slow in doing it. They had to correct work that failed on them. They had to change out labor. They had to dewater because their first attempts, they tried to do jobs without dewatering correctly, which just cost them a lot of time. They were slow to order material, slow to get submittals approved.
By them going slow, did that have a monetary impact on us?
Yeah, it's more a lot of inconvenience. There's staff time. There are additional services from Priest and Nichols directly due to their delay. So that's part of what supports the liquidator damages.
Yes, that's what, yeah.
That's what I'm getting at, we should have a hard number, look, this is it, and here's how we calculated it.
Right,
and
right.
There's no way we will be going below.
Right. Through the May 1st, the additional services from Priest and Nichols due to their delay is at $46,000 through May 1st.
So I
And we
just
still gotta close
keep
out.
that in mind as you negotiate between rock bottom, plus some sort of penalty on top of that we wouldn't go below. And then,
Right.
then a soft goal as well as to where we might be searching. Okay, great.
Thanks.
On the other hand, I want to thank the board for approving all these projects that we have in our hands right now, working on trying to complete this and that. But the microfiltrations, once we complete this one, we're gonna have both of them, Laguna Vista and Port Isabel. Microfiltration is one of the best quality waters that is going through there. And that has helped a lot of our requirements, like state requirements on chlorine, turbidities, and all these kind of critical issues that we had before. Now we're doing great, and it's going to get better. Once we finish this other microfiltration by December, supposedly, then we start with the desalination, which is better tasting water combined with that one. So I just want to thank the board because I'm grateful that you guys have been really working forward together with staff. And staff, I want to thank them too because they do a lot of work all combined together. But thank you all very much.
Thanks, Carlos. Thanks, guys. Yeah. So 2 plants, I'll be able to turn one tap on here and another tap on here and get good water at the same time for both then, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have that balance with the island and Laguna Vista. So it's good.
Good work. Good job. Thank you.
I'd like to bring my dad jokes here. as well.
Momentum.
Yeah. All right, item 10, consider and discuss for possible approval of revised contribution in aid of construction agreement for electric distribution service from AP for CID 01 water plant 2 reservoir number 3 raw water transfer pump station.
Is that
Right.
pro forma, 26,000?
Yeah, exactly. The 28,712 and 27 cents, that's from the revised design to isolate the two transformers on site.
Motion to approve.
So moved by Mr. Starkey, second by Mr. Donahue, all in favor?
Aye.
Item 11, consider and discuss for possible approval of abandonment of utilities, replat block 12A, block 14, section 2.
Yeah, they're proposing an apartment complex on Padre Boulevard and West Sheepshead. And with the lots that are getting abandoned or vacated, there are utility easements, but there's no utilities. And the site can still get served with the abandonment of those utilities.
Oh,
Is that on the beach?
It's next to Rod's, by the laundromat, I guess, is on the other side of the lot. Yeah, South Padre
Right
Island,
next to Pizza
Sheepshead.
Hut.
Right
Yeah,
next
I
to
think
Pizza
so.
Hut.
Right
Yeah.
next to Pizza Hut.
Yeah, it's on,
Across the other side of Padre.
yeah, West Sheepshead at Padre Boulevard on that south corner.
Great.
motion to approve.
Motion made by Mr. Starkey, second by Mr. Donahue, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 12, consider and discuss for possible approval of an environmental services proposal from UES.
Yeah, and this is the firm to cover us for that feasibility period with Hess property. We're already, Hess is already working with the title company. We're getting close to, setting the effective date and getting that signed. So we're requesting approval on this agreement so we can,
Is it an agreement or a cost?
yeah, it is a cost. There is a cost here. We are recommending, jump to it's page 5. Yeah, so the scope of service, the Phase 1 ESA, it's $3,650. Right. And then the oversight for the voluntary cleanup program, we got to become an applicant, that's another $1,500. So we're recommending the $5,150, but.
Motion made by Mr. Donahue,
Second.
second by Mr. Starkey, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 13, consider and discuss for possible approval of easement right of way for AV Texas Anti-Water wastewater treatment plant.
Right, on this one, at Annie Bowie wastewater plant, the Birding Center, there's overhead electric lines coming off of their substation going towards the Native Plant Center. But we're the only customer on those lines, and they're removing all that from service. So what they're doing to maintain our power is they need to come off of pole blocks at the Birding Center, on the south side of the plant, and tie in our transformer to the underground electric at the Birding Center. So we're granting their easement to fill their duct bank and.
Wait, you like it's a good idea?
Yeah.
In favor?
Yeah, I'd agree with it. It's so we can retire all that overhead electric.
Gotta get the overhead out.
Yep.
In favor, great.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Mr. Starkey, second by Mr. Donahue, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. 14, consider and review expenditures from May 1st to May 15th, 2025.
Good job, Charles.
I think it's an acknowledgement.
Yes, unless you have any questions on,
I don't, acknowledge.
Acknowledged by Mr. Starkey, acknowledged by Mr. Donahue, acknowledged by myself. Item 15, executive session permitted by the Open Meetings Act, Government Code Section 5.1.1, for consultation with attorney regarding deliberations about real property.
Everybody can stay?
No, some people gotta go, so can I have a motion?
Motion to go into executive session.
Motion made by Mr. Starkey, second by Mr. Donahue, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, sayonara, anybody not called?
Start immediately. Now make a motion to reopen the meeting.
So we're out of executive session,
Yeah.
so we're back in regular session, and so it would be a motion on consideration and action on the executive session.
So, item
proceed as
16,
directed.
consider an action on executive session items, which is necessary, which would just be proceed as directed. Very good. Thanks. With that, adjourned.